So how do you attract new business so you constantly don't have to chase it? Hi, I'm Mike Cuevas, the Real Estate Marketing Dude, and this podcast is all about building a strong personal brand people have come to know, like, trust, and most importantly, refer. But remember, it is not their job to remember what you do for a living. It's your job to remind them. Let's get started. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Marketing Dude Show. And folks, we got quite the show for you today. If you haven't been tuning in lately, we talk about attracting business, not chasing it. I think lead generation has changed and it will continue to change. But the one thing that doesn't change and hasn't changed since the dinosaurs ruled the earth, at least in the real estate market, is how people choose their realtor. And the truth is that over 78% of them choose people that they already know, use in the past, or personally met. And what we're going to be chatting about on today's show is all about referral marketing. One of the things I cannot stand is people telling me all the time, hey, how are you going to scale a business off of referrals? You can't. You need lead generation. No, you don't. You need attention. And you need to know a lot of people, and then you need to stay in front of those people and nurture them quite oftenly. And we have just the expert that's going to show you exactly how he does that today. As a matter of fact, he's done over $40 million last year, closed over 200 deals with only 6 heartbeats in his office. And none of this, let me repeat that, none of this is from buying Zillow leads, purchased expensive leads. He's done this organically, and he's attracted his business because he's built a brand simply by nurturing and staying in front of people he already knows and has worked with in the past. So without further ado, we want to go ahead and introduce Mr. Will Penney to the show. Will, what's up, buddy?
Hey, man, I'm so excited to be on here. I love this.
Why don't you go ahead and tell everybody whom you are a little bit, and then we're going to get in and start asking you how the hell you did this. So go for it.
Well, my wife and I own Penney Real Estate Company in Stowe, Ohio, which is a suburb of Akron and Cleveland, just northeast Ohio. And we started Penney Real Estate in February of 2001. I became a realtor when I was 19, April of 1988. And I was my nickname was Flash in the Pan Penny. And I worked against that. By the time I was 25, I made Century 21 Centurion Award, which is 60 transactions in a year by myself. We didn't have email back then, so you had to present all offers face to face. And back then I was the for sale by owner king. But starting in about mid 1990s, I started developing a database, and we've been working it ever since. And probably 70% of our business is people who know, like, and trust us already.
Nice. Like it. And Will's staying here. He's telling me on ahead of time, you guys have really mastered the art of Facebook groups. And that's what we want to keep our focus on today. And I apologize. I thought you were 100% referral based, but whatever, where is your other 30% of business coming from, out of curiosity?
Probably, I got on the Zillow wagon early on with reviews, and we have 557 of them. So it's all organic. I was spending about $3,000 a month on Zillow. I've pared that back to almost nothing. The only reason I didn't cancel it all is because I don't want to lose my reviews. But for all of those of you listening, that's going to end at any time. So if you've got reviews on there, put them on an HTML page and save them, because they're going to go away.
Interesting. I did not know that. But this is 100% attraction. You got people finding you on, and they're looking at the reviews. Folks, what someone else says about your business is more powerful than what you'll ever say about it. There's a reason why when you say, I've been in the business for 25 years, that everyone just tunes you out. It's much more powerful to have somebody else say, hey, Will did a kick-ass job and he just dominated my fucking investment. And that's why I like Will so much. That's a lot more powerful than anyone ever coming out and saying, hey, dude, I'm the best. I'm the best. This business is not about it's about them. And the more you serve, the more you sell. So Will, I want to get into this Facebook group thing. When did you discover this Facebook group thing? And let's start with that first. Like, what year was it? When did you start figuring this out? Because that's very interesting.
All right. So I'm going to have to backpedal a little bit. So we usually have client events every year. Last year, obviously, was a disaster. So we didn't have a client event. Every year going into the new year, I go to Marco Island, Florida for 2 months a year, January and February. That's another benefit of having a business that's on autopilot and a nice small team. But I go there 2 months a year, and ahead of time, I think about something I'm going to do for the following year. So last year, I got a really good CRM. Going into this year, I decided I needed to get another way to stay top of mind. And email marketing is tough. You can't call people every day. You can't text them every day. So I did a little bit of research, and I discovered that Facebook groups are completely transparent and highly promoted by Facebook. Every major corporation, every major university uses Facebook groups to communicate with their students, their teachers, their employees. It's become a utility. It's not a gimmick. It's not TikTok. It's not Snapchat. It's a utility. 70% of humans in the United States are on Facebook, and almost 80% of those are on it daily. And there's 600 million Facebook groups, and about half of Facebook users are a member of at least one group. Facebook knows that. I watched the Facebook or the Social Dilemma, and that's what made me think I need to start a group. So the end of last year, about December 1st or so, I started my Facebook group, Penney Real Estate Friends and Family. It's a private group. I immediately started inviting everybody who was a Facebook friend, and I'm not a social media person, really. I'm using this as a social CRM. That's all I care about. So we got about 100 people in there within a couple of days. I got my 5 team members to invite their friends. Every day we're searching for our past clients now. And we just started inviting them into the group. And then I became a freak about finding engaging content. If you post things about home sales, selling stuff over list price, 26 offers, people turn you out, and all it does is sends the wrong message to the marketplace. It just scares buyers off. I mean, there's just nothing good. It makes sellers think they don't need us. So I started coming up with really engaging content, asking questions, some architectural stuff. Everything's questions just to get people talking. So that was December. By January, I had about 400. My business coach asked me to do a webinar for his coaching clients. And at that point, I realized that there's a giant hole in the marketplace. Facebook groups for realtors could be really, really good if you want to stay top of mind daily. And at that point, I decided I was going to start helping other realtors. But we've got 813 members, which are human beings. Every one of them knows, likes, and trusts us. Every one of them we had a prior relationship with. And now I've got 813 members in there. We're trying to get to 1,000. And we just, it's like a client event every day. And we stay top of mind with these people every day. It's been phenomenal.
Love it. Folks, this isn't about like saying buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. You have to carry on the conversation. Like if you guys are always talking about work with your friends, they're going to tune you out. So like, Will, if I started calling you up every day and I'm like, hey, bro, how about those interest rates? Hey, dude, how about that house? Hey, dude, are you going to ask me to go out for a beer or even go to maybe in your neck of woods, a Cleveland Indians game? No, of course not.
We don't talk about real estate. Every once in a while, we'll post like a bad MLS photo just to get people laughing about it. We don't talk about real estate at all. We keep that on our business page, which is worthless. It's just a static page now. 1,800 followers, no engagement whatsoever. Facebook business pages, unless you boost the posts, average just under 1% reach. Facebook groups can get up to 100%. That's what Facebook.
My next question. Well said. I didn't know it was a letter less than 1%. I thought it was 3 to 5 on your business page. Here's the problem. Is like so many agents just go, and they go out and they post on their business page, and that's it. They go, I got to post on my business page because this is real estate content, and I'm going to post on my business page. And then you get no likes, and you wonder, and that's because Facebook's algorithm doesn't show your shit to anyone unless you give them money. You have to run ads, and your business page is just there for money. If you're not going to run ads, you don't need a business page. Would you agree with that?
It's actually 0.62% according to Google reach on a business page. And it's like having a billboard that's turned away from the highway. And the only way they're turning is if you hit that boost post button.
Yeah, 100%. And dude, ads, I love ads, but if I love running ads, but you guys have to pay to play if you're going to run on Facebook. It's not the good old days when you used to get a bunch of likes and blah, blah, blah. But so now I want you to listen to what he just said about his groups. We'll repeat that for us real quick. 100% reach. So what happens within a group with posts? How many people see it? What's the algorithm?
we get between 30 and 100% reach on every post. Most of our posts we've got 813 members. Most of our posts within a day are getting 400 to 600 reach.
Love it.
And if you think about it, any group that you're a member of, every time they post in that group, you see it at the top of your Facebook feed, whether mobile or desktop.
Yeah.
So it's like a postcard. The way I look at it with a group, if you send a postcard out every week, if someone picks it up, looks at it, throws it in the trash, they still saw it.
Yes.
They still saw it. So
Did you listen to my show before?
I'm going to from now on. I started listening the other day, and I really like it a lot. So basically, it's like a postcard that goes in the trash, but they still saw it. So when you post to your group, even if they don't like it or comment, because most people don't, just like most people don't complain at a bad restaurant, they just don't go back. So even if they don't like it, hit the like button, they still see it. It's still an engagement. So some people will like it. Some people will comment, but what happens is new people into the group, there's this dynamic where they see that you've got 800 members in your group, or even if it's 100 or 150, not everyone's going to be like me where they're going to, blow everything up. But even if you've got 100, 150, if I invite you into my group and you see that there's posts, people are commenting, you see I've got 150 members, what that does is it solidifies in your mind that I'm legit.
Yep.
Right. So it's another form of social proof, Mike.
Yep.
So
here are the stats on those guys. He has 813 people. Statistically, 10 to 15% of them are moving. So we're looking at about 80 to 120 moves. You're going to have some rents in there, but 100% of the 813 have a referral for him. He becomes more referable. The more he's referable, more marketable he becomes. You got to remain on top of mind for this stuff, you guys. And that's what it is. Very well said. I always say that same line, Will. I'm like, I go direct mail has always been one of my top lead sources. And the reason wasn't because of direct mail. It was because direct mail gets a 100% reach. And even if someone throws the postcard or the letter in the trash before, you still physically engaged with them. They still took mental acknowledgement of your existence. And as long as you have that, you attract business. I mean, this isn't rocket science. This is mathematical. What Will's doing is no differently than what Bed Bath & Beyond does with their 20% off coupons, you guys. He's just doing it on Facebook. Bed Bath & Beyond sends you guys these coupons every month, but no one brings them to the store to actually check out with them. But at the same time, no one throws them away either. When you get to the store, you scan your email for the same damn coupon. If Bed Bath & Beyond stops farming their customers with coupons, they stop getting referral business. That's what this is about. You must be everywhere all the time. It's so important with attention nowadays to maintain it because it's very easy to be forgotten about. Well, I'm going to go out and take a wild guess. And you probably don't log on to Facebook too much and see a bunch of people who bought or sold without you, do you?
No, and before my group, I would wish people happy birthdays and stuff, but I don't even use Facebook. I go on there every night for about 15 minutes in a very structured way. And I like posts, I comment, I treat it just like a client event every day.
So you do it. So you have it structured per night. Like what's like, how much time are you spending? Cause this is what I hear this all the time with agents. Like, I don't have time for social media. Dude, you don't have time not to be on social media is my answer back. Like it's either, do you like money? Do you like closings? Well, you got to adapt to what's going on, you guys. How often, give me the time frame that you're spending on social per night.
So here,
per week.
Okay, so I'm spending here's the cool thing. In a Facebook group, they have a scheduler. So you can actually post your content weeks in advance. Okay. So it takes maybe 30 minutes a week to post the content. I go on for 10 minutes a night with my laptop on the couch before I start watching Netflix. And I just flip on there, see the notification, open my group up, go through, and my team does this too. And I have an ad, and I post all my stuff myself. So realtors are just saying, oh, I don't have time for this. I have a team of 6. I have 2 businesses. I sell 80 homes a year myself, manage my team, oversee 217 transactions, still post to this and still have time. And I go away for 2 months a year. So Jeff Bezos makes billions a year, and he does more than all of us. So it's just a matter of prioritizing. So I go on 10 to 15 minutes a night, and I just like the post. And I just like walking around a brewery when you have a client event. You walk around and see, shake hands. Facebook's created a tool that you can use that's just like face-to-face interaction. In fact, COVID made it that way. People have used Facebook and Facebook groups to replace face-to-face interactions. So you can now have a group, in my case, 800 human beings. I mean, that's like 800. I mean, that's a massive amount of people. And with one post, I can hit everybody. And then all I got to do is chat with them. It's the easiest thing ever. And it's not a magic wand. I mean, we do all our other stuff. We're having a client event. We have a real newsletter that we mail out. We have, we call and text our clients quarterly. We do all that stuff. I do some Facebook retargeting ads. To just travel around. I mean, follow them around rather. But this group has just become the engine of it will be over time, the engine of our business, because everyone's on Facebook every day, whether we like it or not.
Yep. Do you have the statistics on personal page reach? Yep.
So in 2018, Facebook changed their algorithm. I only know this because I spent a lot of time researching this. The Facebook personal page, the algorithm changed. There was a lot of complaints with Facebook users that, especially during political times, that people they don't like the bragging. They don't like seeing everybody else's kids being smarter than your kids. They don't want to see all food. So basically, people were getting off Facebook because they'd see 100. It was overstimulating. They'd see 100 posts a day. So in 2018. They changed the algorithm so that they only showed you posts of other people who they determine that you have a relationship with. You like their posts, they like yours. So statistically, I think isn't it about 15% of your posts are going to be seen by 15% of your friends will see any given post. So realtors that are using their personal pages, thinking that they're bucking the system, they've got 1,000 Facebook friends. The same ones are seeing it every day. Yep. And you can't change that by putting type or copy, like the things that they tell you can do. You can't beat the Facebook algorithm.
Well said. So let's just dig deep with that. So this is the reason why a lot of people, I believe, don't post too much on social media. They think I'm being annoying. Well, first off, if you're posting annoying shit, then yes, you're being annoying. But second off, you have to realize that nobody's like 85% of your quote unquote friends aren't seeing your stuff. Right. And the only reason, like Will's 100% on the money here, you guys, it's about remaining present. Okay. So if 85% of your referral sources or your sources of business are not seeing your content, there's someone else's that they're seeing. Trust me, you could trip over a real estate agent in just about any market in the United States nowadays. Right. So it's not a matter of if you're not marketing them, trust me, somebody else is. And that's the same damn reason why you log on to Facebook and you see little cousin Billy, that little prick who just got his license, took the $2 million listing from you. You know why? Because they forgot you exist. And Billy has bloodline relationship with them, and blood is thicker than water. Attention is monetary. Attention is the new digital currency, you guys. And all he's really doing is digital door knocking his database through a Facebook group. What's the difference between him knocking on a door and dropping off a seed packet or a pop buy than just showing up every day on social media? The difference is that he's doing it more frequently, because you can't drop off a social media seed packet each and every day. You'd burn out.
You called it, man. You're speaking my language, because, and again, in my business, for me, I want to be as efficient as possible. We did $1.6 million in GCI last year. My 3 of my 5 team members are salaried. So that's a whole other conversation. They're W-2 employees. So I have a very productive little team. And I just found that the Facebook group enabled me to stay in touch with them every day. And I've said this to my team in order to get them on board. I'm like, you can't go drop off American flags every day. You can't text every day. You can't email every day. You can't, anything that you've done in the past, you can't do every day. You're on the platform that they're on already. And COVID has made it so that people, because they're not at work with their phone, they can look at Facebook or TikTok all day long. And the people that are making the decisions in the households are going to be middle-aged people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. They're all on Facebook.
Yep.
So you can engage them every day. Our posts, honestly, we'll have like pictures of 4 different vacation homes and say, which one do you like? Or we'll say, what's your favorite song? If you had a theme song, what would it be? What's the worst movie you've ever seen? You'd think that, and I've had people say, because I've got other realtors that I help with this, quite a lot of them. And they started off saying, well, this isn't real estate. And I'm thinking, if you want to clear a room, all you got to do is say, I just listed a house. We got 56 showings and 27 offers, and it sold for 100 grand list. You're going to clear the room.
You might as well drop a big fart in the pants. That's what's going to happen.
It's repellent. And it's sending the wrong message. It's sending a message to buyers saying I shouldn't buy, and sellers saying we don't need you.
And I think there's a third message. I think you feel like a piece of meat. Like, Will, when's the last time you invested some money with like a financial planner or something? Like someone you gave money to that was just all over your shit until you gave them money. And the second you do, then they disappear. And then you're subconsciously, whether you're not, you want to admit it, you're thinking to yourself like, wow, that guy's a total dick. I now know what he was all about. This is the way people think, you guys. Like 80% of clients and home buyers, the reason why they don't use you again is because 80% of them forget your fucking name, period. Right? So how are you going to run a referral-based business where 85% of business comes from people you already know, like, and trust without staying in touch with the people you know, like, and trust? This entire business is a giant popularity contest because 78% use the first person they come into contact with. That just happens to be someone they know or they're referred to. There's a direct correlation with that. Why do you think so many people, because the way it's simple, right? This isn't rocket science. It's a popularity contest. And so many people want to make that largest investment with someone they know, like, and trust. They don't want to do it with some slick salesman that won the top award for the most closed units in a year. They want to do that with someone to be like, hey, will you please talk me out if I'm making a bad decision? And most of that happens through one-on-one, belly-to-belly personal relationships.
I love it, man. Can I add one thing to what you were saying?
Yeah.
So I get somewhat neurotic about, I don't want to ever wake up and be like Al's VCR repair shop. Okay. So we have a moving truck that we loan to our clients. I'm in a sea of large brands, and I have an independent brokerage, not powered by anyone. It's Penney Real Estate. And we bought a moving truck. We started a staging company, so we're trying to add value. But the thing that got me really sweating is that Dave Ramsey, Homelight, Effective Agent, Fast Expert, Ideal Agent, Zillow, those companies are advertising on television to get to your people before you. Yes. Okay. So it's not just, nephew Billy, who's been licensed for 6 weeks and they hire him because he's blood. The biggest thing that these realtors need to be aware of in this day and age is that there are people spending millions and millions of dollars to get in front of your clients before you, offering discounted commissions, big time agents at a discounted rate. And I take referrals from some of these companies. And I started thinking last year, every one of those referrals I get where they hire me because of the connection with this third-party company that takes 35% of my commission, bought a house with someone else. And they didn't call, and I'm here now because they called Fast Expert. Why did they call Fast Expert? Yep. Fast Expert's a fine company. I'm just saying, but why did they call them? Because if their agent would have stayed top of mind on a daily basis and stayed in their head and kept the trust level high, they would have never called Fast Expert in the first place.
Yes. Nobody cares about these discounts either, you guys. Like people don't care about what you charge. That's just a fallacy. What they care about is that it's justified at the end of the day. Like if Will's a kick-ass agent and he helps sell someone's house, do you think that someone is really going to care of a 0.5 difference? They don't at the end of the day, as long as they feel like they got the service that they paid for. It's no differently than when you go to a really high-end restaurant. You go to a 5-star restaurant. Me and Will might go out to dinner next time he's in San Diego, or if I'm ever in Akron.
It's Akron.
All right, sorry. Oh man. But
I'm going to San Diego. I love that city.
So, but dude, it's so right on. So like, let's talk about brand because that's what we're really chatting about here. My favorite topic. So, there's only one way to compete against these, because this is coming down the pipe. The interruption isn't going to change this time. The difference between now and 2007, you guys, is very simple. And the one, if you're sitting there thinking, oh, these interrupters are going to disappear at the next shift, they're not, because the difference is big tech and Wall Street is involved in this, and they have endless amounts of money. And right now they're drowning the airwaves because they're backed by venture capitalists that will fucking outspend you every minute of the day. And the only way you're ever going to compete back against big tech is very simple. It's through the relationship you have with your network.
You are 150% spot on, which is why, again, I don't care about the tools, but the tools I use are the ones that I feel are the best way to stay in touch with the most people in the most efficient way as often as I possibly can.
So let's talk about content a little bit. And why is it, I blame the gurus, dude. Like I blame, you know who you guys are. I blame the gurus on this slick salesman stuff, because I believe that like what's happened, and Will, you've been doing this a little bit longer than me. I was in 2002 when I started, but at that time you used to have to wear a suit, man. Like I would walk down the city of Chicago wearing a suit. I'd have to dress up. Like now you see me in sandals, ripped jeans, and like a t-shirt that probably has a coffee stain on it. But the reason I think social has really personalized the business, but I do remember like this level of professionalism. I'm not saying you don't be professional, but there's a way to be personably professional within the business today. And people, it's true, people don't care. Like they don't, back then they used to assume that you had to be with a big brand. They would think that the brand had something to do with the sale. Today, that's flipped upside down. Will's proving it in his market. He just said it. He's a small independent brokerages. He's probably competing against Compass and Realogy brands and all of that other stuff, because the consumers don't give a shit who they hire to sell their house. All they want to know is the peace of mind that their largest investment is going to be taken care of. And that's exactly why you lose a couple deals to Aunt Susie, the blue-haired realtor who got her license but doesn't know how to log on to the MLS yet, or little cousin Billy who just got his damn license and doesn't even know how to input a listing. Relationship trumps all. It always will. And this business will always be belly to belly.
And the process is bigger than the product, which is why we're always going to have jobs. If you want to stay relevant, we are not going to be eliminated by technology. It would have happened by now. The comparison between us and travel agents makes me ill. The process is bigger than the product. The process is becoming more complicated, not less. And all technology has done is shorten the A to B, which is I'd like to buy a house and finding a house. From, okay, I found a house, offer to closing has gotten more complicated, and technology hasn't changed any of it, nor will it anytime soon, because the banks aren't going to let that happen. Unless everyone becomes a cash buyer, you're not going to have people just opening up houses on a Zillow lockbox and going in by themselves and entering into a $1 million or $100,000 transaction on their own with a tablet. They're not going to do it. The process is bigger than the product, and that's that.
So let's talk a little about big picture. This is right on. This is the stuff you guys got to be looking at. Like there's a paradigm shift. I do think, there are adaptions that you need to make, but ultimately people are going to hire you, not the brand you're going to be affiliated with or whatever it is you do. But what are you seeing in regards to commission compression? Because here's what I think is happening. And I think it's a real thing. So I get people in Arizona, people all over the country that we do video work for, and I see what's coming down. And Arizona just happens to be iBuyer Central. Okay. Scottsdale, right. Phoenix specifically. Every iBuyer's there, which also means what? That there's a lot of money being spent on airways. There's a lot of money being drowned on the airways. And as a matter of fact, the average, if you guys aren't in Arizona, if you are, tell me if I'm wrong, please write into the show. But from what our clients are telling us is that the average commission is now 4%, 2% each side. I don't think that's coming back. That's a direct result of every iBuyer being in that marketplace, guru heaven, and it's just the ground zero for iBuying and alternative ways to buying or selling real estate. And commission compression is there. It's their test market, you guys, and it's going to be in every single market in the future. Now, back to this is what we're talking about with these airwaves being drowned out. Why you have to fight back, but you don't need to spend the same amount of money as they do. You just have to stay in front of your core 300, 200, 250, and everybody has one of those. Every person, there's a great book. I don't know if you ever read this book. It's by Joe Girard. He's the world's greatest salesman. And this guy was out of Metropolis, Detroit. And I think he still holds the Guinness Book of World Records for the most used car sales. ever. And I believe it was 343 sales in a course of a year from a Chevy dealership. Now, these were not sales. These weren't bulk sales. Like if I get a condo listing with 40 units, great. That's one listing, right? Not 40. But this is individual belly to belly. Now, here's the centerpiece of his whole thing, which he calls I think he calls it the rule of 250. He goes, listen, I don't care. I never cared about selling the car because each car I sold was just a stepping stone to the next transaction. So what he cared about was that he knew that every single person he helped buy a used car, that person had a group of 250 people that he wanted to be introduced to. And the same thing, he'd sell them a call, then 250 people he would be introduced to. He followed that philosophy because everybody knows someone who's going to buy a used car that year. Well, that's how he sold 343 deals in a year. So my challenge to you guys is this. When you don't spike the football after you close the first transaction with someone, you spike the football after you've closed your third or fifth, either directly or indirectly from referrals you've gotten. When you're playing the long game in this business, there's a reason why some people in your market that you may despise, you're like, how's this dude selling more houses than me? He's a complete moron. Well, he's way more popular than you are. He has a better connection with his database than you do. People know who he is. Nothing that you can't overcome, though, is it? So,
not if you work at it.
Don't overthink this stuff, you guys. Like the relationships we have is monetary. I used to tell my agents every relationship we have, and I don't think you could put a value on it, but I used to just say, for time's sake, let's just say every person you know, you look around, look at your Facebook list. I believe everyone's already a millionaire that they just haven't collected their income yet because it's still sitting in the accounts receivable sections. And why I say that is because the average person buys 3 to 5 houses over the course of their lifetime. So if I start working with somebody, my goal is not to sell them one house. My goal is to sell them 3 houses, 5 houses over the course of their lifetime. But I have to remain in relationship to make that happen. It's short change to revalue a relationship at $25,000 though, because 3 to 5 houses over the course of their lifetime, I'm going to make $25,000 off of that. What I cannot account for is the amount of people they can introduce me to that I could do the same fucking thing with. That's where this business is at. And that's true leverage in attraction and building a brand. And that's why you need to do it in the first place.
You are spot on once again. According to the NAR, the average person runs into 3 people a year who move.
Yeah. It's 3. I just say that everyone knows someone who lives somewhere and they're going to refer someone, right? Like everyone refers someone something. Like you're going to get referred. So the question is it going to be you or is it going to be cousin Billy?
67, according to the NAR, again, if you can believe any of that, 67% of home sellers rely on a personal referral. 7 out of 10 home sellers work with the first agent they talk to.
Yep. Exactly.
And we're talking about seller leads and, how do I get some seller leads? All you got to do is have several hundred human beings who trust you and stay in their heads every day.
Yes, that's it. You're 100% right. That's the business. But you have to be in multiple touches. Like you're not just using Facebook. I don't know if you guys picked this up. He's sending out newsletters. That's physical. That's direct mailing. He's still sending out emails. He's texting. Yeah. It's great. Very well said, dude.
When everyone else is getting drunk on July 4th, I'm sending out texts to my core advocates saying, hey, happy July 4th.
Do you have a beer though while you're doing that at least? Like you have a little bit of fun with that, Will?
You can. I'm pretty skinny. I run a lot. I can drink 3 Coors Lights before you don't think I'm funny.
Very, very cool. Dude, I think he fucking knocked us out of the park. Folks, I want you to listen to what he said and really take it to heart. I just did a video in a sort of a spoof video, but I'm like, it is time to declare freedom from all the lead generation strategies that just don't work anymore. And I go through this like big tirade. But folks, I mean that, like, stop chasing the shiny objects in this business that cost thousands and thousands of dollars a month. People, there's so much wasted money in this business because I believe people are chasing a bunch of strangers versus just staying in front of the people they already know. And that's why 4 out of 5 people don't make it past 5 years in this business. You're taught to chase the wrong people. That'd be like me opening up my taco stand and telling someone to sell me the wrong meat to make my tacos with. That's exactly what's happening. So Will, why don't you go ahead and tell everyone how they could find you, because you also have a coaching program on this that you can help people build this Facebook group if you like. So why don't you tell them a little bit about that? And then we'll go ahead and get this wrapped.
Thank you so much, Mike. So I did a webinar for my business coach in January with his top realtors about starting their own Facebook groups. And everyone afterwards says, well, how do we come up with content? How do we be consistent? So I started a company. And again, I'm still an active realtor, man. I'm not some guy on the outside. I still sell houses. I was on 2 listing appointments today. I'm not going anywhere. I started a company called Social Orchard, SOCIAL Orchard, ORCHARD. It's socialorchard.com. And basically, you can go to that website and get a 7-day free trial. We give you all the content for a month and training videos and help. And it's cheap. It's $89 for solo agents, $149 for a team. And then we also help loan officers, because we have the loan officers. They actually give the content to their realtor partners to take the control back. And they have the realtors endorse them in the group once a month. Oh. That's $3. So if somebody wants help with their group, I've got a bunch of, I've already got a few dozen realtors, big teams that we're helping, and no one's bailed out yet. They like it because it makes it easy for them and it's cheap.
Love it, dude. Thank you for sharing this, dude. Really good. And this guy's right on. Make sure you follow him on social and check out his stuff. And folks, thank you for listening to another episode of the Real Estate Marketing Dude podcast. Folks, if you need to get on video, that is exactly what you do. A lot of topics we talked about today, we like farming our our network with video content. It's another way you become unforgettable, because nobody cares about, or no one remembers what you say. They remember the impact your presence makes. And that's really what video does. Video is not lead generation. It is impactful. It allows you to stay on top of mind, so people can't forget who the hell you are, and more importantly, what the hell you do. So you have to become more referable before you can ever attract business. And that's exactly what we help you with. So if you're interested in learning how to script, edit, and distribute more videos, you don't need to hire a bunch of lead generation companies. You don't need more leads. You need more dudes. You need to call us up and visit us at realestatemarketingdude.com. That's realestatemarketingdude.com. Thanks for leaving your reviews. Why don't you go ahead and follow us on our social platforms as well. And if you're really interested in something else we're doing, you want to find another way to attract listings, you should check out our new course called Listing Advocate. Listing Advocate is all about adapting multiple options to your listing marketing plan, so you could beat out these fucking iBuyers and offer the same shit they are offering you. You just have a whole lot better terms. So 2 ways you attract. You offer something different, or you stand out above the rest. That's it. This business is very simple. Thank you guys for listening to another episode. We'll see you on next week's show. Will, pleasure, dude. Thank you guys. Peace. Thank you for watching another episode of the Real Estate Marketing Dude podcast. If you need help with video or finding out what your brand is, visit our website at www.realestatemarketingdude.com. We make branding and video content creation simple and do everything for you. So if you have any additional questions, visit the site, download the training, and then schedule time to speak with a dude and get you rolling in your local marketplace. Thanks for watching another episode of the podcast. We'll see you next time.